We are on December the 4th of our book, How Winston Delivered Christmas. Right, let's see what happens. Goodness, there wasn't a moment to lose. Who can remember what happened in the previous chapter?
He found a letter.
Yes.
He was going to tear a hole in it, but then he stopped.
Yes. Something made him stop, didn't it? He wanted to make it a nice warm winter blanket for himself, but something made him stop. So let's see what happens now. He wants to now help with this letter. Remember, it said he wanted to, if we go back to the previous page, an envelope out of place, it says, the newspaper was dated 23rd of December, which meant today was the 24th, and that meant it was already Christmas Eve. And he knows this is a Christmas letter to someone called Father Christmas, and he's got to deliver it. So he's now like, I have very little time. Goodness, there wasn't a moment to lose. If he was going to get this letter to the North Pole, he'd have to get going straight away. Winston had never experienced Christmas before, but he knew all about Father Christmas. Over the past few weeks, the entire world had gone Christmas mad. The shops were packed to the rafters from morning to night, with busy-looking people bustling about with their long lists and their arms full of boxes and parcels. Winston had watched bemused. What was it all about? Who was this jolly man with the beard and the smart red suit, whose picture seemed to be appearing everywhere? Who do you think it is, Liam?
Santa.
Yes, Father Christmas or Santa. Good work, Diana. Then one night, about a week ago, Winston had found quite a good place to sleep. It was a small den near the basement kitchen window of one of the grander houses in the city. Spots like this were always good places to spend a night, but unfortunately you couldn't stop there for long. Cooks didn't tend to like mice hanging around their kitchens. Luckily, no one had noticed Winston, so he enjoyed the lovely food smells that had floated out of the open window and the great wafts of heat that rolled out every time the oven doors had been opened. Later in the evening, when Winston had been thinking about going to sleep, the cook and the butler had rolled up their sleeves to get stuck into piles of washing up and had popped the radio on to keep them company. One moment, darling, yes? Right, as we were saying. Winston had been enthralled. There had been lovely Christmas music, choirs singing, and a lot of talk about Father Christmas. Apparently, on Christmas Eve, this Father Christmas person put on his nice warm coat and hat and set off on a sleigh pulled by flying reindeer from the North Pole. He delivered presents to every child across the world, and all before morning. How exciting, Winston thought. Yes, Liam? Well, they might not have any presents if he didn't deliver them, yes. Sorry, I paused it there because I'm never sure what you're going to say. How exciting, Winston thought, and how nice it would be to have a little fireplace, all of his own, on which to hang up a stocking. Now, standing in the alleyway, Winston sighed at the idea of it. Then he thought of the poor child whose letter hadn't made it to Father Christmas's house. They would wake up in the morning to find no presents in their stocking or hidden under the Christmas tree. Winston wrapped his tatty scarf neatly around his neck again and tried to ignore the grumbling, rumbling noises coming from his tummy. This was an extremely important job. He picked up the envelope and marched very decisively to the...
What does decisively mean?
Means with great determination, very sure of himself, decisively, confidently. There's the cook and the butler washing. To the end of the alleyway and out into the street. Then he stopped. Where exactly is the North Pole? He wondered.
North.
Yes, but he knew it was north. See, he noticed north. But quite how far north was it? His legs were only very small, and the snow made it rather difficult to travel very quickly, especially lugging a letter with him all the way. He'd probably only have a few hours to get there, so he'd have to make sure he was going in the right direction. All around him, people were still rushing, and there were legs striding about in all directions. Tired legs belonging to commuters heading home after work. Excited legs of people going out to Christmas Eve parties, and giddy little legs mainly belonging to the smaller human beings who were running around hooting and hollering and messing about in the snow. That's like you and Tiana, Liam.
Not messing about.
Not messing about, having fun. Yes, that might not be the best word. All of this was quite confusing for Winston, who felt very tiny indeed. What I need, Winston squeaked to himself, is a map. Yes, Liam.
What's that?
We'll go to that in just a moment. That's the sound, honey, coming out of the radio. That's the only way to show sound because you can't actually see sound. You can only hear it and feel it. So they're trying to show it in a picture form. What I need, Winston squeaked to himself, is a map. But where could a mouse find one of those on Christmas Eve? The bookshops were closed, and even the museum, which Winston knew had a great collection of very old maps, was shut until after the holidays. Just then an idea landed rather neatly in Winston's mind. There was a shop not far away from where he was, on Mistletoe Street. He thought. So let's read that again. There was a shop not far away from where he was, on Mistletoe Street, he thought, that might be able to help him. Tucking the envelope under his arm, Winston set off. Yes, Nia.
Mum, Mistletoe Street sounds very old.
It does, but it's very Christmassy, isn't it? It's a very Christmassy name. Oh, look, and the task for today, which doesn't have to be today or any day at all, it's purely a choice, is to make a snowflake decoration.
Actually, that was the choice for yesterday.
Oh, that's true. That is for the 4th of December. Paper snowflakes are a really nice way to decorate your house over Christmas. You can make as many as you want with lots of different types of patterns. Try creating your own blizzard. You will need white paper and scissors. It's that simple. Just white paper and scissors. It doesn't have to be white paper, but normally snowflakes are thought of as white. You want to take the sheet of white paper and place a plate on it and draw around it with a pencil and cut a circle out. Now, I never normally do a circle. I just use it as a square. But you can cut a circle out. Then you fold the circle in half. Ask a grown-up to help you with the halves if you're unsure. Then you want to fold it in half again. So you fold the circle in half. And when you fold it in half again, you end up with a triangle with a curvy bottom. Now you've folded the paper 3 times, you can start cutting out the patterns for your snowflake. Just cut out 1 or 2 small shapes along each side of the triangle. The shapes don't really matter. Make sure that you don't cut out too much, otherwise the snowflake may fall apart. Finally, open up your triangle to reveal your beautiful snowflake. You can stick it to a window or on presents to decorate them, or maybe hang it up on the Christmas tree. Try making some more and cutting out different patterns, just like real snowflakes. Each of your snowflakes will be unique. Happy 4th of December!